All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, so tonight we're going to discuss understanding team cycle bonuses, okay? So I understand when we start talking about this, we're gonna start talking about left leg, right leg, weak leg, strong leg, and all of this stuff. So if you have questions, you've got to ask, okay? Because this stuff can get very, very confusing very quick. So I'm going to try and really take my time to make sure I explain it, like, no offense here, but I'm going to try and explain it like I'm talking to a 3-year-old. Okay. Very, very simple. All right. Because it took me, I'll be very honest, it took me about 6 months before it all started clicking for me. So I'll explain this as simply as I can. I'll try to anyway. So first of all, I'm going to start with October Success Club for everyone, which was a great, great month. Jennifer had Success Club 6, the first time she's done that. Congratulations, Jennifer. That's freaking awesome. So, so awesome. Becky hit Success Club, and then shout outs go out to Melissa and Liz, Christina, Candace. Candace, those were her first person she helped. So that's really, really awesome to see everyone up on that board. Such a great month. Super proud of everyone. All right, so we're going to start, when we talk about team cycle bonus here, we're going to start at the very beginning, okay? So when you first start and you sign up to become an active coach, you need to have 50 personal volume points, okay? When we sign up, generally, we always sign up with Shakeology, which automatically gives us 90 personal volume points. So that means we're active right from the start, okay? But if you were to have a coach sign up with just the $45 coach fee, they would still need to have 50 PV at least to keep themselves active. Or let's say you signed up your spouse. To have your spouse be active, they would need at least 50 PV volume points. So it's not necessarily that they need to order Shakeology through them, but they need to have at least 50 personal volume. So what the hell is personal volume? Every product has volume points associated with it, okay? So Shakeology has 90 volume points. What is it? I think it's the Recover. If you were to get the Performance Stack Recover, the Recover has like 52 volume points associated with it. The 3-day refresh, I believe, is like 46 volume points with that, right? Like every product has a volume point. How do you find those volume points and know that? If you go into your Coach Online office and go into under support and under the forms and documents, you will see listed in there, make sure you're in the Canadian one, you will see in there listed the product list. When you look at the product list, it'll show you the original price, it'll show you the coach price, and it'll show you the volume associated with that item, okay? So like a challenge pack, the all access challenge pack itself is, I believe off the top of my head, it's 135 volume points. So you sell one of those, boom, you're going to be active regardless, right? So every product, that's what you just need to know. Every product has a volume point associated with it. If I was to sign into my coach office and I was to go under shop and go buy something right now, it's going to show me the coach price and it's going to show me the volume points associated with that product. So you'll be able to see. So if someone wasn't able to order Shakeology, but to remain active, they need 50 volume points, then I would recommend ordering the Recover, because the Recover is 52 volume points. So boom, you're done, right? So the next step is really to activate your business. So really tapping into team cycle bonus and how we earn money. There is many, many, many ways that we earn an income in this business. But the main way that we earn our income is through growing our team and helping people. The more people everyone associates that negatively. But when we join this company, when we join up to be a coach, the first thing we always say is, I want to help people. Well, if you want to help people, then you need to grow your team so that you can help more people, right? That's the way we help more people. You can't do it by yourself, right? You need to expand and grow. So to activate your business, the first step is becoming Emerald. Okay, that's the very first step. That's like, that has to be your first goal, becoming Emerald, right? So to become Emerald, you need to have you plus 2. So those 2 people could be anyone. They could be your spouse. Like I have, my first 2 was, I have Dave under my weak side. And I had, my sister-in-law was my very first challenger that ever signed up. And then she signed up with the discount, and then she later became a coach, right? Like it's just your first 2 people. So mine happened to be Dave. It could be a friend. It could be a parent, a family member, could be anyone. You could simply be like, hey, listen, I'm trying to do this. Why don't you come do it with me? You know, you can get a discount. Come join me, right? That could be the very first way you start. Or maybe you do have a challenger that wants to coach and become an active coach. That's even better. That's even better if you have someone like that. Okay. So just like you though, just like you, they need to be active as well, right? They have to be active for you to become Emerald. So they either need to be on Shakeology with the 90 personal volume points, the performance stack is 90 personal volume points, or just 50 personal volume points, okay? So everybody's okay so far, right? That's all normal stuff right there so far. All right, so now the next step to that is understanding your legs, okay? So how do you know what is your weak leg and what is your strong leg, okay? As you sign up people underneath you, you will have over the top of their name or by their name, you're going to see a PS. And that PS means they're personally sponsored, which means they're your people, okay? But then you're going to start seeing these people's name appear that don't have a PS above them. And they're just going to, you're going to go into your office and be like, who is this person? I don't know who this person is, right? That's because they're not your person. You didn't sign them up, but they could be someone I signed up. It could be someone above me that signed them up. Brooke is ultimately at the top of me, right? So if Brooke is signing people up, they go on our leg. If Danielle is signing someone up, they go on our leg. If any one of their coaches sign someone up, they go on our leg. So whatever side you see a bunch of people that you don't know on there, that is your strong leg, okay? That is going to be your strong leg. So that's the leg that everybody puts somebody on, okay? Then you're going to have a leg over here that only you see PS, which is your personally sponsored coaches. So the leg that only you can put somebody on is going to be your weak leg, okay? Eventually, you're going to see a name there because let's say underneath Dave, I have Jennifer and I have, you know, Jennifer and Tracy, you're both under Dave. Well, if Tracy, if you're over here and you sign someone up, this Susan person, she's going to show up there too, right? So now this leg starts growing, okay? And the secret, if you think about this picture in your head, the way it's structured, you always want to be placing people far and outside. That's what you got to remember. Far and outside. Far and outside. Because when you look at the way it's laid out, it's laid out like this, right? You'll see this and you'll see this, right? And then you'll see this and you'll see this. So if we were to look at just Dave, this one over here, because if you were to sign someone up over here on your weak leg, they would show up over here. But if Dave was to sign someone up, this would be the only leg he could put somebody on. So that would be his weak leg, because you are putting people far and outside, far and outside, never in the center part, right? So that would become that person's weak leg. Okay? Does that make sense? have I confused you at this point now? Does that make sense? You guys are on mute, by the way, too. So just so if you have anything to say. Okay, that all makes sense then? Over here again. Okay. Okay, so that's how you look. So this is your weak leg. This is your strong leg. Strong leg because everybody puts it on. We refer to these as strong leg and weak leg because everyone's legs will be different. So if I look at Sally and she looks like this, and I'm putting people over here, that means this is going to be Sally's strong leg and this is going to be her weak leg. And if I look at Dave over here and I'm putting people under him, this is going to be his strong leg and that one's going to be his weak leg. Totally opposite as opposed to the person on the other side. So that's why we refer to everything as strong and weak, because you need to keep them. If we keep referring to them as strong and weak, then we're always talking about the same legs because we don't know whose is different, right? Okay, you guys are all still with me? That all makes sense still? Okay. All right. Next. Now. Okay. So that's what I guess we just talked about this piece. How do you know what one's your strong and weak leg? Your strong leg's everyone, weak leg, only you can add people. Okay. So next, team cycle bonus. Now, how do you know what your team cycle bonus is going to be, right? So the big thing to remember here is one cycle is 300 volume points. You have to, both your legs have to equal 300 before you can cycle, okay? So your weak leg is going to total up to 100, and your strong leg will total up to 200. Once your strong leg hits 200 and your weak leg hits 100, boom, that's one cycle. If you keep adding up more volume, then boom, that's another cycle. Every time it hits 300, you're going to cycle, okay? So if you look at that, so Dave over here has 90 personal volume points. That means he's on Shakeology. Susan has 90 personal volume points. That would mean she's on Shakeology. Michelle has 90 personal volume points, means she's on Shakeology. So if I looked at these people on paper, these people are all just basically discount coaches. They're not really working the business. They're just getting their Shakeology, and they're just getting their Shakeology on a discount. That's totally fine. Over on this side, though, you see that this one here, my sister-in-law has 90 personal volume points. Sally has 90. Barb has 180. She's not my personally sponsored coach, but she's got 180 personal volume points. Marge is not my coach, but she has 225. And Sarah is not my coach, and she has 300. So these three people who are not my coaches are clearly working the business, right? They are working the business. These people up here still only have 90 personal volume points. Okay? So your team volume is every product has a volume point, what we talked about before. Every product. So every time someone sells something, that's what's going to add up. Okay? So how do you know if you team cycle? So we add up our legs. Here's your left leg, 90, 90, 90. The three of them add up to 270 volume points. Okay? The strong leg, if we add up all of those, has 885 volume points. Okay? We're just adding up all the volume that's on those legs. So clearly, this one here is at 885. This one here is at 270. And we need it, for one cycle, we need to hit 300. So clearly, we're going to cycle now, right? So the next step is actually cycling. So your weak leg is 270. Your strong leg is 885. When your strong leg hits over 200, that's the one that's going to drop by 200. Your weak leg's going to drop by 100. That is one cycle, right? That's one cycle, 300. So now you're down to 170 and 165. You still have 100 over here, so it means you can cycle again. So now you're at 200, 100, another cycle, and now you've got 70 volume points left and 485 volume points. Can you cycle again? No, because there's not 100 points on this weak leg. So you cannot cycle again. You're done. Anything that you have left over, so this 485 and 70, anything you have left over is going to roll over into your carryover to the next week. And if there's anything left over the next week, it'll roll over to the next week, to the next week. It's always banked for you. It will always be banked for you, whatever these leftover amounts are, okay? They will always be banked. So the thing to remember, though, I got it written down here, so we'll get to it. It'll always be banked for you. So we got 2 team cycle bonuses here. We've cycled twice now. So Emeralds get $14 per cycle, a max of $250 a week. Rubies get $16 a cycle, which is $1,000 a week. A diamond is $18, so it's a max of $2,000 a week, okay? So you're an Emerald coach. You just cycled 2 times by $14, so you just made $28 on everybody. That means all of these people, including these coaches over here that are not your coaches, all contributed to your team cycle. Everybody helps everybody else in this situation, okay? Everybody feeds into everybody else, the person above them, okay? So everybody benefits, okay? Any questions? No questions? You're okay? Okay. So today I posted in the group how to find your personal volume, where you're at, right? You got to sign in, go to the volume tab, go to your volume, and figure out where it'll show you your week ending and where you're at in your week ending. So I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Oh, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Can I zoom in on it? Okay. So if you see this right here, this is my volume. You see on my left leg, I have 192 volume points, and on my right leg, I have 131,000 volume points. That's how strong my strong leg is, right? Like I haven't even tapped into this. So by the formula that we just did, 131,757 divided by 200 times that by 131,757 divided by 200, because technically I could 200, I need to cycle, times that by 18. So if this left leg was high enough to match that 131, so sitting right here in this 131,000 volume points, that's actually equal to $11,858 that I have not tapped into yet. There's $11,000 I have sitting on the table that I have not even got my hands into yet because I haven't, my left leg is so weak, right? That is the importance of becoming Emerald, becoming Diamond, growing your team. That is where you're going to see your income increase many, many, many times over, right? Now, the next step, this is why this is called residual income. This team cycle bonus is your residual income. And what that means is if I was to get my left leg up to say 131,000, I got these legs even, and I was cycling a constant cycle, making $11,000 a month, and I decided to quit coaching 3 years down the road, decided to quit coaching. As long as I kept my account active, I would never have to sign another person up, never get active. I would continue as long as the team all kept building and building and building around me, and I stayed active, I would get that money for the rest of my life. I'd be sent a check for the rest of my life without doing anything, right? As long as everybody around me kept building and everything stayed the status quo, I didn't have to sign up another person, walked away, I would still continue to get that income. So it is, when we sit here and talk about this stuff, I know when everyone first starts, they're like, all they see is, helping one person, or they don't see the bigger picture, but the bigger picture's there. It's a compound effect. Help 3 people this month, help 3 people next month, 3 people, 3 people, 3 people, and it compounds greatly, right? It all starts adding up. One person helps one person, they help someone, It just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, okay? So that piece is important. I know nobody likes to talk about, the money side of things, but income is important for people, right? Like this is, I want to make an income at this. I want this to eventually be a full-time income. And it definitely has the potential to be that way. But it's staying consistent in the first year, 2 years. Like this is me 2.5 years in, right? So just think in another 2 years, what that's going to be like. That's going to be, you could probably double or triple that in another couple of years, right? So it's staying consistent at the beginning to build up over time, right? So that's how it works, the team cycles. So big thing to remember though, this is the important to note about your volume points, very important. They'll always be banked for you, always. But if you were to ever go inactive, if you ever go inactive for any reason, your bank gets reset to zero. It all drops to zero, right? So that's important to note. So even if you couldn't do Shakeology and stay on the 90 PV, at least be hitting that 50 active points so that you never go inactive and lose those points. Because once you start building them, like I said, I got $11,000 there. That would be gut-wrenching if I went back to zero right now, right? If I made a mistake and went back to zero, that would be horrible. So that's an important piece to know, okay? So the big thing here is customers versus a discount coach versus a working coach, all right? It's really important to have a good mix of everybody, really. So a customer, once you sign up a customer, you're going to receive an initial 25% commission off of that initial challenge pack or all access or just whatever it is that they purchase. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a challenge pack, but whatever they purchase, it's going to be a 25% commission on it. If they did get a challenge pack and got Shakeology, as long as they continue to stay on Shakeology, you will receive, it's around $32, $33 a month. I think it's like $32.89 or something like that. It's around $33 a month, as long as they stay on Shakeology, okay? If you were to sign someone up as a discount coach, preferred customer, VIP, whatever you want to call them, if you're signing someone up to just get a discount on their Shakeology, that's it. You're still going to receive that initial commission for signing them up. You're still going to get that initial income from the 25% commission from signing them up. However, the big difference is that as they continue to get Shakeology, you're going to get that 90 volume points to help towards your team cycle. So, yes, $33 is like, oh, I don't want to lose that $33. But if you just look at that $33, that's very, very short-sighted because the average customer only stays on Shakeology 3, maybe 4 months. That's it. But if they sign up as a coach, the average goes up much higher. They will stay on Shakeology longer if they are signed up as a discount coach. So in essence, having them as a discount coach over the long term helps you with your team cycle more than that $33. Do you have a question, Jennifer? Yeah. Yeah, you're on mute though. Sorry. Here, I'll take you off mute. Okay, go.
Yeah, so if we're getting their 90 personal volume points, do they get personal volume points too?
We all get personal volume points.
But off of them? So we're getting personal volume points off of them and they're getting personal volume points off themselves?
No. So for me right now, my Shakeology order is 90 personal volume points for me, right? But right. my 90 personal volume points also rolls up to Brooke to help her cycle, right?
Okay.
So maybe we are saying the same thing.
It changes to team volume then, right?
Yeah, it becomes team volume. It's not like if you were to sign up under me, your 90 volume points doesn't help me to stay active. It helps my team volume to cycle, but it doesn't help me to stay active. I would still need my own 90 volume points or my own 50 volume points to stay active.
Okay.
Right.
Now I get you.
But in saying that, the only time it does benefit you is when you sign somebody up. So let's say I was sitting here right now and I was totally inactive and I didn't have any money to buy anything and I still wanted to be an active coach, as long as I sold one product every month that had over 50 volume points, I would be active. That's when it helps you, is when you sign someone up.
Okay.
So, you know, when you went in today to look at your volume points, you had 600 volume points in there.
Yeah.
That's because of the challenge packs that you sold.
Right. Yeah.
It all added up to that 600
Yeah.
team volume points. So when you go to next week, though, after this week, if you have 0 sales, then your volume points are going to be 0. Right? You only have those volume points when you sign someone up in that week.
But are they still banked?
Yeah, your volume points will always be banked.
Okay. So they're not gone. They're just not current.
Not in the current week.
Gotcha.
They'll never be in the current week.
Clear as mud.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's the thing about this stuff. Okay, so a working coach. So even if you were a working coach, you're still going to get the initial 25% sign up, right? You'll always get that 25% commission off that initial sign up. All the business that they produce, now becomes volume points towards your team volume, including all your coaches under you. So all your volume points that you produce, Jennifer, and you produce, Tracy, all roll up into my volume points, right? So when you see that 131,000, Tracy, your volume points are in there, and that other side is where, Jennifer, you're in the other side, my weak side, right? So that's where it all rolls up. So it's the same with your coaches. So anything that they do under you is all going to come up to you, right? So a working coach, there's a lot of people that sign up and say they're going to be a working coach, but unless you're actually helping people get started every month, then you're a discount coach, okay? The big thing here is to help everyone. I mean, it's really about duplicating everything, which is why I show you guys everything I do, right? Why we do these team calls is to be like, okay, this is what I've tried. This is what's working for me. You guys can go try it. You know, unless you try it, unless you go out and put things into practice, you're never going to know if it works for you, right? We can sit here and talk about it all day long, but unless you go do it and try it, you're never going to know, right? So it's just repeating action, inviting, bringing people in, and it's all about numbers, right? It's all about numbers.
So if somebody signs up to be a discount coach or a preferred customer, there's no designation that says this person is a discount coach. A coach is a coach is a coach, right?
Exactly. A coach is a coach is a coach. If you're receiving 25%, you're a coach. You're a coach. So if they want to start coaching, then they don't have to do anything else. They can start coaching. They can invite their friends. They can bring them along totally, right? That's why you want to encourage that, right? Like, hey, do you have anyone in the next group that you want to come join us, right? Have them come along, right? Because once they see once they get that initial commission too, then they're like, oh, wow, maybe I got someone else that could come, right? Every little bit helps towards, paying for their Shakeology or whatever it is, right? Some of our top coaches all started out as discount coaches, right? They just wanted a discount on their Shakeology, and the next thing you know, they realized they could earn an income from this, and then they all got started, right? Same as a working coach. Let's say you're a working coach, and you decide tomorrow that you don't want to be a working coach anymore. Okay. You don't have to do anything. You can still get your Shakeology and still get your discount off of it, but you don't have to invite anyone. You don't have to participate in the team or anything like that. There's nothing saying you have to do that, right? So if you want to not be a working coach, then don't. You'll just be considered a discount coach, right? Just getting a discount on your product. That's it. A raving fan, basically. That's it. Right? I mean, it's because everyone seems to think that when they don't want to be a coach anymore, they're like, I'm going to cancel my account. But if you cancel your account, then that means you cancel your 25% discount. So you go back to paying full price. So I don't know if that's what you want to do. I mean, that's totally fine, but I'd still rather get the discount. So, there's pros and cons, right? Discount coaches, a pro is that they will help you grow. If you want to rank advance, they'll help you grow. They do help towards your team volume and your cycling. They do. They have the potential to become a full-time coach. Every discount coach has a potential to be a full-time coach for sure. But the con is they are super unreliable, right? Like they'll cancel or put their Shakeology on hold. And if they do, that'll affect your rank big time, right? If it's the wrong person in the wrong spot cancels or puts their Shakeology on hold, that could drop your rank, right? And they don't necessarily help you grow income-wise. My goal has always been to build for income, not for rank, right? If people are out there building for rank, that's ego-driven. I'm here to build a business. I'm here to build a full-time income business for myself so I can leave my day job. So, so for me to have a bunch of discount coaches doesn't help my income grow, right? And that's the thing. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys. That's what I would like to see for you guys, to make sure you're building sustainable income for yourself, whatever that is for you. It may not be the same goal as me, but whatever that is for you, okay? And working coaches, I mean, the pros, of course, they help you grow. They're going to help you cycle. You have a team. They're helping you build your team. You've got someone to work with, and it's way more fun to be doing this with people that want to be here and want to work. It's way more fun, right? So it's good to have a mix, but you don't really want to have one or the other. If you build up with a bunch of discount coaches, it's a house of cards. Eventually it'll all come down. That's happened to many, many people. So that's how I started when I first started. Every single person I signed up as a discount coach. And yeah, it helped me get to Diamond, but it really, I had to do some scrounging there a few times to save it. So you don't want to do that. Okay. You guys have any questions? That all make sense?
Sort of.
Sort of? Yeah. Right. So I'll just add on to that, like when you're in your groups with that, the goal is always to help people get into a free group, really, really spend time with them, get them results, transition them over to a paid group, and then really spend time with them in the paid group. Like the most time you're going to spend with people really is upfront in your free challenges, creating those relationships with people, building that trust, getting them in that free group. That's where you're going to spend the bulk of your time with them, and then get them over into a paid group. Once they're in that paid group, that's when you really want to watch what they're doing. Are they participating? Are they encouraging other people? Are they willing to go on a video? Are they willing to do all of this stuff? Those are coach-like behaviors, and that's what you want to encourage. When you see those things, you want to encourage those things. So if I see someone do a video, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I love your video. Oh, you got to do more of them, or can you go on a video and tell us what was in that recipe, or like encourage them to do those things. And then if they're loving it, and usually in the first week, that's when everyone's loving it, right? That first week and a half, you want to just send them a quick message and be like, hey, you are killing it so far. You're doing so great. Let's make sure we get you set up as a preferred customer before your next Shakeology comes out. Yeah, I would love that, right? Get them set up. And then the next step is going to be, hey, it's now 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. Hey, you're really killing it in this group. You really should consider becoming a coach. Like, you are killing it. You're rocking it. You're doing everything I already do. You totally should. Our job is about planting seeds. Not everyone's going to jump at the coach opportunity the first time you offer it to them. They're like, oh, I just want to work on myself right now, right? We've all said that. Oh, I'm too busy, right? Next step, okay, leave it at that. But the next step is, hey, listen, we got a coach, we got a coach sneak peek coming up. I'd really love for you to join us, see what it's all about, and then make a decision, right? It's always step by step by step by step. It's never going to be, I say it once and they're like, yeah, I'm on board. No. You got to say it again and again and again and again and again. I have a girl right now that I'm talking to that's been in my groups for the last year, and she's on and off. And finally today I sent her a message and was like, listen, I know we've talked about this before, but you really need to consider becoming a coach. And here's my reason why. Because I've done the same thing. I've always quit everything. And when I started this, I found that when I had someone doing it with me, I really started showing up, right? That word coach just made me show up and be more accountable. And I feel as though that's what you need right now. She sent me a message back and she's like, I think you're right. Right? But that took a year and at least 4 or 5 times talking about it. So it's not once and done. You have to, it's constant, right? It's always every month. Hey, listen, you got a sneak peek coming up. I keep coming back to thinking about you. You're just killing it in here. You really got to be doing this, right? Encourage them. That's why I have those little contests about inviting your friends to the next group, doing this to the next group, because as soon as you come to me, Jennifer, if you were just a customer of mine and you came to me and said, hey, my sister wants to do this next group with us. Can she join with us? Yeah, she sure can. So why don't we look at getting you set up for the discount, and then I can help you get your sister set up. That way you can take care of it. I love that you're thinking of me, but instead of sending everyone to me and me, benefiting from the commission, you could be having that could help pay for your Shakeology. And then people are like, yeah, I never thought of that. Right? It's just talking to people about it. That's all. And the more people you talk to about it, the more success you'll have. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch that Jim Rohn video that I posted in the group. It's only an hour long. You should really listen to it. I listened to it yesterday. Really, really good. Really good.
I just listened to the Moira call today.
Oh my God, that was fantastic. Moira was really good. Okay. All right. That's it. Do you guys have any questions, or that's?
No, they said stop. Stop. What? Stop. Why'd you give me the look at that?
All right. That's it. Hi.
Sorry, I seen it too late.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. We got it recorded, so it's all good.
Okay.